Another Death Valley summer day comes to an end. And I sure didn't expect to still be here. Wonderhussey here, still in Death Valley, waiting for the sun to go down so that I can finally crawl out of my shack. Which incidentally, let me just take a minute to say a word about the MVP of this Death Valley summer, my Fujitsu Minisplit. Let me tell you something, this thing is amazing. It keeps the interior of my shack nice and cool. I don't really have anything bad to say about this product except for the mobile app is absolutely miserable. If anybody from Fujitsu happens to be watching this video, come on guys, you're a huge multinational company and you make a fine product. Can you not make a better app? They make this app so that you can supposedly control the Minisplit remotely, so that say I'm traveling and I don't want to keep this place at 78 degrees while I'm gone, but when I'm about to come home from a trip, well, I'd like to be able to log on and go, okay, let me cool down the casita and make sure it's nice and comfortable for when I get home. Well, this friggin' app is so absolutely miserable that it's constantly getting disconnected from the unit, and it's next to useless. Anyway, end of rant. There's about a million things I'd rather be doing than complaining about my Minisplit in Death Valley in the middle of the summertime, but unfortunately, them's the breaks. I'm still kind of stuck in this area, stuck in a holding pattern because of a number of factors, but mostly my house in Vegas. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with that, and I can't really go anywhere or do anything until I get that settled. And golly, it's killing me. I mean, this is mid-summer, my favorite, sweetest, juiciest time of year. I would give anything to be out in nature at a hot spring right now. Wait a minute. I am basically out in nature. And I could be in a hot spring right now. Silly me, why sit around complaining that I'm not out in nature at a hot spring when I have 2 hot springs within walking distance of my house? But, oh dang it. There's somebody camping at the one I wanted to go to. Darn it, I was gonna drop trowel, crack a ranch water, take a nice little soak for old time's sake, but there's somebody over there and, well, it's almost certainly somebody who doesn't like me and certainly wouldn't welcome me busting into their little midsummer Death Valley camp out with my camera rolling. Oh well. Plan B, I'm just gonna have to drink my ranch water roaming around the desert. Golly, I can't believe anyone is crazy enough to come all the way out here in June to soak at a hot spring. Now, to be fair, that's not a hot spring. It's kind of a warm spring. I think it's only about 90 degrees, so it probably feels really good right now. Go figure, the one friggin' day that I decided to walk over there and make this video, somebody's in it. That's okay. Lucky for me, there's a whole wide open desert I can roam around and a whole 12-ounce, 80-calorie, sugar-free, low-carb ranch water I can enjoy. Cheers, wherever you are. And no, believe it or not, I am not sponsored by Ranch Water. I say all this nice stuff about them because I really like the product. Anyway, I'm really just recording this because I gotta post something on Friday and I haven't been able to travel around and shoot any new content. And gosh, I don't really have anything exciting to report. Like I said, I'm in a holding pattern, trying to figure out what to do with that house in Vegas. Right now I'm kind of torn between selling it and moving back into it. And there's pros and cons to both, which I've discussed ad nauseum, and you're probably sick of hearing about it, but since I still haven't made up my mind, it kind of helps me to talk about it. Hopefully I'll finally arrive at some kind of decision, because oh my god, I have done everything to try to figure out what's the best, smartest course of action to take with this. I've talked to a bunch of people. I've emailed a bunch of people. I even had my sister do a tarot card reading for me to see if the cards had anything to say about what I should do. But to be honest, science wasn't any better. ChatGPT just gave me the pros and cons of both selling and moving back into it. Now that I think about it, I even went and asked the Oracle of the Mojave Desert, aka the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, what it thought I should do, and it didn't have an answer for me either. So I'm pretty much just back to square one. I don't know. Most people have been telling me I should not sell the house. But I'm not sure I want to move back into it. You know, what do I want? A better house or a different house? I don't know. I have a lot of weird memories associated with that house. I had 2 houses in Vegas. Okay, I had a house. I mean, if you watch the video I made a few years ago, all the places I lived in Vegas, I lived in a bunch of crappy apartments, and then I finally saved up my pennies and bought this house with this guy that I was dating, and it was a really nice house. It was custom built in 1933, which was before Vegas was even really a city, and it had super thick walls, and everything was just really well constructed, and it was in a really neat neighborhood, and it was on a big lot, and blah, blah, blah. I way overpaid for it, and had a bad mortgage, and this was back in 2007, 2008 when all that stuff happened. So I ended up having to short sell it and move into the house that I have now, which I never really liked quite as much. You know, when I bought it, it was real cheap. It was kind of a fixer-upper. And I thought, oh, I'll just live here until the next crash, and then I'll buy something that I really like. Well, that was in, let's see, I bought that house in the very end of 2011. So what is that, like 13 years ago? There still hasn't been another big crash, and to be honest, I think that crash in 2008 was kind of a once in a generation, or maybe even once in a lifetime kind of event. I don't think we're going to see another crash like that, and certainly not property values plummeting like that in our lifetimes, or at least I certainly hope we don't. I mean, I'm no Warren Buffett, what do I know? But I don't know, a lot of people seem to think that another real estate crash is coming, and so that I should sell this house right now while I can still get a decent profit on it. And part of me thinks, oh my god, it would just be so much easier to move back into it because, well, it would just be easier. I already know the neighborhood, I know everything, I remember how everything was laid out, but I don't know, going backwards like that, I don't think that's healthy, and taking the easy route isn't always the best thing. I know I'm one of those people. Well, I say I'm one of those people that always likes to take the easy route, but obviously not if I decided to move out here to the edge of nowhere and deal with all this crap. I must be some kind of glutton for hard work and punishment. But I do have a tendency to get lazy and go, oh, you know, it would just be so much easier to move back into that house. Let me move back into that house. And then I would move back into that house and I would probably feel depressed. Like I wasn't making any progress in my life. So the long and the short of it, and I'm not going to talk about this anymore, is I still haven't decided what to do about my house in Vegas. But I do have good news on another house front, and that is concerning my mom. Okay, if you watched my videos last summer when I was helping my mom move out of her beautiful cabin in the Redwoods on the gorgeous Russian River up in Sonoma County, California. Absolutely beautiful little cabin, but it was getting to be too much for her. You know, talk about a lot of maintenance and upkeep. Woo-wee, that place was in the Redwoods. And if you've ever lived in the Redwoods, you know it's a lot of work. Anyway, my sister and I helped her move all her stuff into storage. And then she went up and stayed at my grandma's old house in the Sierra foothills. And she was only planning to stay up there until she found a new house to buy. You know, she couldn't buy a new house until she sold the old house because she needed the money. And anyway, she stayed at that place in the Sierra foothills. Well, she moved in there last Labor Day, and it's now, I'm filming this on June 26th. Oh my gosh, she was there almost a year. But guess what? The good news is she finally found a house. That's right, she found a house in the greater San Francisco Bay Area, and I helped her out with it. I'm actually a co-owner of this house, and now I feel like a real estate mogul. Got a house in Vegas, I got a shack in Death Valley, and I own part of a house in the Bay Area. Look at me, maybe I am Warren Buffett. Maybe more like Warren Buffoon. Seriously though, it's my mom. Of course I'm gonna do what I can to help her. So that's what's really frustrating that I can't leave right now is she closed on the house today, and I'd really like to go up there and drink a bottle of champagne with her in it, but I can't leave here because I got all this other adulting to do. Man, it really sucks being an adult. I never wanted to grow up, and in fact, I didn't think I did grow up. I mean, here I am walking around the desert talking to myself, pretending that I'm on TV. And if that's not a sign of retarded development, then I don't know what is. I've always sort of felt like one of the lost boys. I'm the lost girl, I guess. Like, I never wanted to grow up. Like, who wants to grow up? But everybody does, you know? Like, all my friends grew up and got married, had kids. My sister grew up, got married. Well, she didn't have kids, but I'm always kind of the only one left. It's kind of like when you have a party and everybody gets tired and goes home, and there's always that one person who's still standing in the living room going, "Hey guys, let's party." Well, that's me. Everybody else cleans up, packs up, and goes home, but I'm still here. Another toast to us. The lost boys, the lost girls, the Dharma bums, all of us who refuse to pack up and go home. Here's to us. But anyway, despite the fact that I never grew up, I somehow find myself in the position of having to do some adulting right now. And that's why I can't go check out my mom's new house, which I'm super excited to see. I mean, I saw photos of it, obviously, and it looks really cute. And it's in a really cute little town in California. I didn't think she'd be able to find something she could afford, but, well, where there's a will, there's a way, and I'm super excited to get up there and check it out as soon as I can. I'm especially jealous because my sister is going up there tomorrow. Oh my God, she's driving up there tomorrow. And the worst part of all is she's driving up through the Eastern Sierra, and she's gonna go through Bridgeport and get asada fries at the barn. My favorite food in the entire planet. The barn in Bridgeport's asada fries are so delicious. I told her she should get 2 orders and bring one to my mom, even though my mom lives another probably 3 hours from there, 2.5 hours from there. So they'll be cold by the time they get there, but she can heat them up in the oven. They'd still be just as good. Oh, man, with any luck, well, I guess I won't be going up that way. Gosh, I was going to say with any luck, I'll be going through Bridgeport soon, but when I go up to my mom's new place, the fastest way won't be to go through the Eastern Sierra. It'll be to go up I-5. But that's okay, because I have a couple really interesting videos I want to shoot in the Central Valley. So with any luck, at least I'll be able to do that. Gosh, I don't even want to jinx it, but maybe in a week or so? Gosh, who knows? I'm living minute to minute at this point, and it's really not the way I'm used to living. I like plans, you know? Usually my plan is to GTFO, that's get the f out. Although I guess it's okay to say that word now because the president said it at that press conference the other day. I don't know if you saw that, where he was talking about Israel and Iran, and he said neither one of these two countries knows what the f they're doing. Ugh, why am I talking about politics on a night as beautiful as this? Once the sun goes down, it's actually very pleasant out here. And it would be even more pleasant if I was sitting in that little warm spring back there, but oh well. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. I can't go to my mom's yet. I'm in flux. I thought last summer was the summer of flux. This summer is really the summer of flux. I guess life is just flux in general, and that's the trick, is just to learn how to adapt with it. Be like water. Go with the flow. So that's what I'm trying to do. Go with the flow. That being said, I am trying to take care of business and get things done. I called about my phone again. Okay, the friggin' NSA still has me dang phone. I don't know if the NSA actually has it. I'm not sure what's going on. It was confiscated on May 10th. And they made it sound like I was going to get it back in a few days or a couple weeks at the most. It's been a month and 6 weeks. Over 6 weeks it's been. It's been a long time. So I actually called them again today. Got a real nice gal on the phone. She kind of made fun of me for taking pictures in front of a sign that said don't take photos. And I said, yes, I'm fully aware of how stupid I am, blah, blah. Didn't get an answer. I don't know that I'll ever get that phone back, wherever it is. If the NSA has it, if the CIA has it, if the FBI has it, if the Aussies still have it, if some guy's jerking off to my nudies, I don't know, and I guess I don't care because I also called my insurance, okay? I'm one of those people that pays for a device protection plan. That's what they call it with Verizon, where it's like 19 bucks a month. And then that way, if something happens to your phone, you lose it, you drop it in water, you can get a new one. Uh-oh. I may not be able to travel anywhere exotic and exciting, but I can still spot a dang Mylar balloon. Oh, look at that. Happy birthday. Not today, Satan. Put that in my pack and dispose of it properly when I get home. Anyway, like I was saying, I called my insurance provider about my confiscated phone today. You know, just out of curiosity to see if they would cover confiscation by a foreign government. I didn't think they would because I Googled it and the stupid Google AI answer that came up indicated no, but golly, the guy I talked to at Assurion said, oh yeah, that counts as being lost. And so I was able to file a claim and I had to pay a $280 deductible, but I'm getting a new phone supposedly tomorrow or the next day. So that means I can give this phone that I'm shooting this video with back to me good buddy Bill. I haven't heard from Bill. He came back to the US, I think, the other day. Well, I probably haven't heard from him because he doesn't have a dang phone. He can't call me. I mailed him his SIM card, though. I took the SIM card out of this phone and mailed it to his stepdaughter in New Mexico. So I don't know. Maybe he's just busy washing his chonies or something. You know how it is when you get back from a trip, especially a trip as long as the one Bill was on. Bill was in Australia for something like 8-9 months. So I'm sure he's got quite a bit more to do than call me about this, that, or the other. Anyway, I was very surprised to hear that from Assurion. Good on you, Assurion. I mean, I can't recommend the fine product of Assurion device protection enough. I've used it a number of times. Dropped my phone in a hot spring once, had to get a new phone. Dropped it on the ground, cracked the screen, had to get a new phone. I've probably gotten like 6 new phones in my day through my insurance plan, and they never kick me off, which is frankly astonishing to me. But anywho, they're bringing me a new phone the next day or two, and yeah, it's going to be a hassle. I got to set it all up and get all the apps put back on it, and you know, blah blah blah. But I feel like I guess I'm finally putting this issue to bed. Although it sucks because there were some photos. There's still that footage on that dang phone that I want. The footage that I shot in Alice Springs the first couple days of my trip. I can't replace that. And so I know I've got a lot of snide, frankly, emails from people going, you're not going to get that phone back. I hope you realize that. Okay. I'm just going to say right now, I do think I'm going to eventually get that phone back. And if I'm wrong, let's say, what time period should I put on this? A year. Today's June 26th. You come back to me on June 26th, 2026, and if I still don't have that phone back, I'll eat my hat. Okay? And I'm a woman of my word, so, oh gosh, now I'm going to have to shoot another video on June 26th, 2026. God, I hate to think of where I'll be then. My life will be so different then. Will I still be living here? Or will I have moved back to Vegas? Will I be living back in my old house? Or will I be someplace totally different? You know, the thought did occur to me, like, oh, I should just move someplace totally different. Like, you know, move to Oregon or Florida or, gosh, I don't know, New York, you know, anywhere. We have a big, wide world. I could live anywhere. You know, I'm free, white, and 21, as they say. What's holding me back? Well, I don't really want to live in Oregon or New York or Florida, and those are all wonderful places I like to visit, but man, I want to be kind of near my sister, my mom, my brother, my friends, such as they are. I kind of, for whatever reason, feel drawn to the west, and I guess the southwest in particular. I mean, it sure is beautiful. Look at that. Nobody's at the other hot spring, the actual hot spring. So I could go over there and take a dip, but believe it or not, I think it's still 100 degrees even though the sun went down. So the last thing I really want to do is soak in a hot spring. And I'll be honest with you, I did consider that one of my top 5 favorite hot springs, but it seemed like the last 5-10 times I went in it, I get these mud mite bites and I just feel really dirty and itchy, and I don't know, man. I think I have to be in the right mood to go to it, and that mood only comes to me in the wintertime. So tonight I'm just gonna continue walking right down the middle of this lonely desert highway, which I don't have to worry about any cars coming up behind me because ain't nobody in town. Anybody with any sense whatsoever is already long gone to more exotic locales. And now that I think about it, I myself could pretty much go anywhere I want without even leaving Death Valley because I got a big fat bag full of magic beans at home waiting for me. And all I have to do is pop one of those bad boys and boy, I'll go places most people have only dreamed of. If you've ever tried my magic beans, well, you know what I'm talking about. And speaking of magic beans, I think there's a big 4th of July sale going on. I won't really say too much more about that because I'm not supposed to talk about it on YouTube. But if you're interested, head on over to my website, wonderhussie.com, and sign up for my newsletter. I'm actually going to write a newsletter tomorrow. Every now and then I send out these newsletters with kind of like behind the scenes pictures and just like my thoughts, what I've been up to lately. And well, even though I haven't been up to a whole lot of traveling, there's been a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. So I think it's time for me to write another newsletter. Make sure you're signed up for that so you can read all the juicy details and save a few bucks if you want some magic beans. Anyway, I'm running out of daylight and I don't want to step on a rattlesnake, especially since I'm wearing flip-flops. No, I guess I'll just go home and get started editing my last Australia video. I only have one more video from my Australian misadventure, which if you've been watching those videos, the last one I posted might be my favorite video that I've ever made. I mean, there was so much that happened in it. We broke down in the middle of this lonely remote highway and this crazy bush mechanic came to rescue us, and he was one of the coolest people I've ever met. This amazing guy named Andy. Andy, if you happen to be watching this, cheers, mate. Thank you again for everything you did. Great guy, amazing adventure. We ended up in this weird gold mining town in Western Australia that was full of manly men. I got to ride in a truck and hang out in a wrecking yard and do all kinds of manly man stuff. It was amazing. But I have one more video that I shot down there after we left Laverton, and I gotta get that up. And then after that, boy, I'm gonna have to go somewhere because nobody wants to watch me roaming around the deserted fringes of Death Valley every damn week for the rest of their lives. Oh wait, one other thing before I end this. Since I didn't go anywhere exciting this week, well, I might as well recommend a rerun. And a year ago, roughly, is when I went to that super fancy hot spring in Montecito, where Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and Oprah and Barbara Streisand and all these rich people live. It's absolutely beautiful. If you've ever been to Montecito, oh my God, if I could afford to live anywhere, it might be there. Anyway, there's this gorgeous hot spring up in the national forest, just behind this fancy neighborhood. And well, I guess the rich people in that neighborhood don't like all these filthy hippies hike into that hot spring, and so they try to block off all the parking. And I went to investigate that just a little over a year ago. God, it feels like a lifetime ago. So maybe I'll go home and watch that video myself. You know, it's fun every now and then for me to go back and watch my old videos because it's like taking a trip. In fact, maybe I'll eat a magic bean and watch my Montecito hot spring video. Hey, there's an idea. Let's all eat a magic bean and watch my Montecito hot springs video. See you there.